Padres Hot Tub soldiering on through a winter of uncertainty. We know where our ownership is, firmly in the hands of our patrons. In fact, we're a community-based podcast. We're completely funded solely by the people who listen to our show. If you'd like to be one of those people, you can do that. Just go to patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. We've done a little bit recently, but I want to once again highlight the show that we're doing just for our patrons. It's called Banter the Show. And it's one that I think all three of us agree we're having so much fun with now, week after week. Each week, we start off with a little bit of, hey, what's up? What's going on in our lives? Then we have a wheel of topics that have all been submitted by our patrons to the show. And we have, on previous episodes, bandied about whether these were things we'd like to do as a show topic. Once we agree, we put it on a wheel. We then spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, that's what we do for the next week's show. We just recorded Banter the Show where we did a 4-round draft of the greatest television shows of all time. And now we're putting it up to our patrons to decide which group is the best. Doesn't that sound like something fun you would like to watch or listen to? Well, go check it out. You can go to patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub, as low as $5 to be a part of our group, to be a part of our Discord, to get ad-free shows, and to get Banter the Show. Check it out. Patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Raphie Cantor here, recording on Sunday, November 16th, the winter of our discontent. Well, not yet. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. How are you guys doing? How are you, Chris?
I'm well, man. Free agency has started, but nothing's happened around the entire league. We don't expect the Padres to be making any waves. We won't have the winter meetings to even discuss for a few more weeks. I know the GM meetings wrapped up, but you rarely see something happen out of there. So, it's going to be a weird offseason, but we should be used to that by now.
Yes. The first triumph of the offseason happened at the GM meetings in Las Vegas, where we will be hoisting the banner because the Padres front office won the annual GM pickleball tournament over, yes, the dragon from the north of Andrew Friedman, and who else is still in their front office? Josh Burns?
Everybody, yeah. Scrooge McDuck, Mr. Burns, I believe, is the one who's in there.
They're saying boo Earns. But I mean, we've got the bombshells that we will. I mean, it's certainly been an eventful offseason so far for the Padres, but maybe in the ways that you would not want. And, I think in terms of the things that we will actually talk about on this show from a baseball standpoint, I would be surprised if we don't get some of those topics covered until the new year.
As such, this is not going to be the longest Padres Hot Tub of 2025, to be sure. We're going to tackle what's in front of us, and we're going to play a fun game at the end of the show called Name That Padre. Chris has got a Padre name, and Raphie and I have to alternate, and we have no more than 20 questions to get that, to identify the player.
Yeah, hat tip to Rowdy Telez Slugs in the Discord for pitching this in our Banter the Show ideas channel, but we're going to go ahead and use it on the flagship here.
Yeah, all the Padre suggestions we've just stolen and said we will use those in the main show. Thank you. Thank you. We'll do the other goofy stuff for Banter the Show. Okay, so first, really one quick note of housekeeping. First off, as always, if you're watching us on YouTube and you can just hit that thumbs up button, it's really appreciated. Small content creators, it goes a long way. We're not a big corporation. We don't flood the zone. So any little thing you can do on the listening podcast side, 5-star review. I noticed that back in August, we asked some of our patrons to go in, can you help us out with some written reviews? We got some really, really nice written reviews on Apple Podcasts. But if you'd like to add to that, that'd be wonderful. Thank you for all of your support. Also, December 7th, save the date, Sunday, December 7th, 6 p.m., the Stone Tap Room on Kettner, heading downtown way. That is when we're going to have our second annual Padres Hot Tub Winter Social and Trivia Night. A chance for not only patrons, but if you're listening or watching on the free feed, for yourself, if you're a fan of Padres Hot Tub, to come on down and join us. Our longtime patron, Monty, who moved to Cincinnati but is a trivia host, is back for one weekend only. And he's got a Padres-centric slate of trivia, so it will be a trivia night. I said on the previous time that I plugged this that there would be lots of cool prizes, and Monty was like, dude, I'm not moving again. Like, that was all stuff out of like my garage. So we'll have some prizes. I've got a couple of bobbleheads or something I can give away probably, but nonetheless, the pride of being champion is the biggest prize of all. Please join us, come tip one with us, talk some Padres just a couple weeks from now, December 7th, Sunday, December 7th, Stone Tap Room, Kettner, 6 p.m. Trivia will start around 6:30, which is about when I'll be there because the Sockers play that night, that afternoon at 3 o'clock up in Oceanside. So I'll wrap that up and then drive on down, and I'll see you all there. Okay, housekeeping done. Now, the Padres are for sale. Okay. And if you missed our live group therapy, which we did for our patrons, discussing it on Thursday, Raphie posted that on the main feed. If you haven't listened to that, you can hear our kind of very immediate thoughts when that morning it had been announced by John Seidler that the Seidler brothers are exploring a sale. First off, let me just start this way. Have you guys in the 72-ish hours since we did that show had any evolution of thought or change or addition of thought in terms of where the Padres stand right now?
No, this is
No.
it's gonna be a long process, dude. And like you guys pointed out that I didn't quite put a lot of weight into because I still kind of feel it's a sale's gonna happen, but it could not. Like that's 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4. Like those are still pretty significant odds that literally nothing changes.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the beginning of a long process, and I think the longer this goes on, the less likely that you're going to get a Joe Tsai or a Steve Ballmer or whatever. I think the longer this goes on, the more likely it is that either the team doesn't sell or it goes to some consortium of owners. Because to me, the person who has FU money, who just wants to come in and buy a baseball team, they're not the type of person that's going to take 24 months to buy the team. Like
Yeah,
they're just gonna
haggling.
do it. Yeah. So I'd have to go back to when the Wilpons put the Mets up for sale, but Steve Cohen, lifelong Mets fan, uber billionaire. I think it was like pretty much like he was in line and no one was going to outbid him for the team. I don't think the Padres quite have anyone of that stature who is a super fan, so to speak, but there could be certainly an interested party. And was it MTL Ryan or Heel Cow who came on our show and kind of detailed the case for why, I have to say it was really helpful for me to understand why this doesn't really make sense as a private equity buy, this franchise, because they're so leveraged. And so I think that that's helpful in understanding. And Craig, you wanted to reference Kevin Acey's piece that was just talking about the price tag.
Well, I just thought it was really interesting to see the various angles to which this sale has been discussed. On the national side, it was kind of briefly discussed, and I think it was just a gust of wind that blew through the GM meetings. As I said on Thursday's show, I'll say again here on the main show, that Bob Nightingale, Fernando Tatis might get traded, the Padres are losing money story, the little blurb that he put in his column. Now we can see in retrospect, obviously, this was him reacting to somebody telling him in a hallway, hey, I'm hearing the Padres are going to announce that they're going to be put up for sale. Hey, I'm hearing that there's something going on with Padres ownership and they're thinking about pulling stakes. And then he does 2 and 2 and he goes, okay, the Padres are losing money and therefore they're going to have to trade somebody. Who can they trade? Tatis. Okay, well, maybe they'll trade Tatis. It's the way that modern speculation turns into content, turns into stuff that we all wind up talking about, because instead of him just saying it on some random Dallas talk show, he it winds up getting aggregated and sent out to the all of us. But with that little aside, on the Dennis Lynn kind of side, on the athletic side or the national writers side, there's the discussion of, well, hey, Minnesota, you know, they tried to sell, they couldn't sell. Hey, the Angels are in a big market. Why can't the Angels get sold? Why did Artie Moreno agree? Padres, they've got some debt, 300 million in debt. They've got these big contracts. They got 150 million dollars they got to pay back owners on a previous cash call. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And then on the AZ side, you've got back-to-back stories. One which described the Padres as quote unquote beachfront property. An ideal place that owners would be lining up to purchase. And he has multiple times now, I've seen it 3 different times printed, said that evaluators believe that generally an MLB team will be valued at 5.5x its yearly income, and that the Padres' yearly income was $500 million. So if you 5x it, it's 5.5x it is $2.75 billion, but maybe $2.5 billion. I think the Dodgers went for 3.
Craig, the record for a sale of a team was the aforementioned Steve Cohen and the Mets, and that sold for nearly $2.5 million back in 2020. So, like, throw inflation on there. Go ahead and bump it a conservative 10%. Today's dollar, that's 2.8, 2.9. The Padres are not playing in a market the size of the Nets. I feel like that number is a little insane considering nearly every other team. The most recent one was the Rays, again in a market not as big as the Padres. I think they're actually in a larger media market, but just from the logistics of how the area is laid out, they're not going to draw near what the Padres do. They went for 1.7. It seems like a lot of teams have been around that 1 point. That's where the Orioles went to. They went for
Right.
1.725 in 2024. I feel like that 2.5 number is a little nuts. And if that's what the Seidlers are shooting for, I'm sure that's around what Arte Moreno was shooting for when he floated selling the team. Like, he wanted to get the bag. The bag never materialized, so he backed out. I don't think the Seidlers are in the same situation, and I don't think they're going to hold out for the most expensive sale in Major League Baseball history for the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
Well, to be determined, right, Rafe?
To be determined, yeah. Again, until there's more reporting that is coming out about potential buyers, I really don't know how much more there's going to be to say about this topic. Insofar as, or up until I should say, it starts potentially limiting the Padres' ability in this offseason to build a team, build a competitive roster. We've seen teams that go on the market start to be slimmed down from a financial standpoint. Hence your Bob Nightingales out there of the world trying to find ways the Padres could do that. I think the way that we would see that most immediately impact the team is if the Padres are not spending basically any money on the free agent market. I don't know how viable of an option that is for the Seidlers, because I think if the team really starts to stink, like, attendance is really what makes the Padres such a valuable product, and they are breaking attendance records every season because they're putting a good product on the field. So if you take the good product off the field, I mean, what was always the thing that was echoed around Charger spaces when they were still in town and games wouldn't sell out and there was a blackout threat and whatever? It's like, well, there's just so much good stuff to do in San Diego. You don't have to go and watch a shitty product. And I think that is still the case, especially for baseball when there's 81 home games a year. So I think that the Seidlers need to continue putting a good product on the field in order to keep the attendance numbers up, in order to make the product viable for the Padres.
That's exactly right. And that's why I will offer a note of confidence that this will be a productive offseason for the San Diego Padres. Last year, it felt like they were paralyzed by the Shield Seidler lawsuit. And until a control person was named, and that wasn't until spring training, there just seemed like there was a complete power vacuum at 19 Tony Gwynn Drive. And now there may not be a power vacuum, and now there may be a power struggle that's going on. Instead, I'm not sure. I'm willing to entertain a couple conspiracy theories here momentarily, but in the interim, if you know the doomer narrative around the Padres is that they've built a completely unsustainable machine. They've built a machine that is built to self-destruct. So therefore, the Seidlers are trying to sell the machine before it self-destructs. Or they are setting up a situation so they can start to destroy it by not selling the team, being unable to sell the team, and saying, well, we're in a position where we just cannot afford to do this the way it's been done, and we're going to have to cut back. But the second you do that, the Padres become pointless. Like, if you don't keep the engine running, you're not going to have 3.4 million people. You're going to have 1.8 million people. And now you're way off. You're way off on your numbers. You still get to pay Manny and Bogarts and Tatis and Cronenworth and Darvish and Musgrove, et cetera, no matter who comes through the doors. So it's the thing I've said all the way through when the whole AJ stuff was being discussed. It's like, no, he's the guy who built the machine. And if you don't let him operate it, it's probably just going to explode. For ownership, the same dynamic exists. We can't just have a Twins like, hey, we're going to cut back and we're going to chop all these pieces off the roster, because if you did that, you'd be selling Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts. You can't do it. They've got no trade clauses and they don't value on the trade market. So you can't do it. I feel like a lot of that is just doomerism. And whether this thing explodes and a bubble pops or not, the Padres have to press on, Chris.
Yeah, well, and kind of to flesh that out a little bit, what it looks like if the Padres did have to do that, the Twins traded Carlos Correa, kind of besides Byron Buxton, their most expensive asset. And in return, they got minor league pitcher Matt Mikulski, which woohoo.
Right.
You just traded a guy whose ceiling is a near all-star shortstop or a near all-star third baseman, and you got absolutely nothing in return, but just some cash. I think right here it says the Twins actually paid the Astros $33 million. So you're eating a significant fraction of the contract. For Manny Machado, you're probably eating half of the damn deal, and you're getting nothing in return. So it's a non-starter. It's a terrible strategy. It's uncompetitive, and it goes against a decent business model that, while it may be unique in Major League Baseball, it looks to be working, because, like you said, the guesstimates for the Padres revenue are around $500 million. That doesn't include a television deal of any sort.
Because they don't have one.
Gosh damn it. We just got Passaned, and my number one free agent is now off the board. Sources, Jeff Passan announcing that the Seattle Mariners and first baseman Josh Naylor are finalizing a 5-year contract.
That makes sense.
It's a big hitter off the board. It does. The Mariners need to pay people too.
Well, and they traded for him. He was a big part of their success. Yep. There's no reason not to lock him up. He fits hand in glove into what they're doing. He would have been a lovely ad here, but we're probably looking more for right-handed power anyway. And
sure, and he's probably
I never thought he's out of our price range anyway.
I'm a dreamer, Craig. I
know. I
love me some nails.
That's why we love you so much. Beautiful dreamer. Dream on, dreamer. Life gets in your way. Conspiracy theory corner for just a second. We just entertained the one of they're they're just trying to destroy everything. They're just going to throw up their hands and ruin it all. Cool, but they'd be destroying their own investment.
Yeah.
The only way, this is critically important, and it leads directly to the next conspiracy theory. The only way that the Seidler family, Seidler bros, and Shield, the only way that they get right and get well is to sell the team. That's the only way. It's the only way. There's a lot of Team Shield this week on social media. And you know that because if you follow Shield, she reposted every single one on her stories on Thursday and on Friday. Once again, trying to win the court of public opinion. We have no idea. Nobody does other than Shield and the Seidler bros. They are the only people privy to what's going on in a Texas probate court where this is being litigated and decided. We've just been told, and it's literally been almost a year now, that it would take a long time. But the conspiracy theory that's been floated to me along channels from people who might know things or might be peripheral to it. I'm not saying that I don't feel this is locked in. I have questions. But what's been floated to me is that basically Shield might be winning. Shield might be presenting an interesting argument in Texas probate court. Maybe that note that Rafe, we talked on Banter about Death by Lightning, the note that maybe Charles Guiteau just forged. Look, I have a note from President Garfield that says I should be ambassador to France. Like, Shield's like, look, I have a note that says I should be control person and my children should be second and third in line. Wasn't what he put in the actual trust, but okay. Regardless, maybe, according to the theory, the conspiracy theory, the Seidler bros see the writing on the wall and see that they may lose control of the San Diego Padres because Shield may prevail, or Shield may prevail in a way that doesn't change control of the Padres, but drastically affects their finances. In which case, again, sell out. Sell out and move along. The weird part, and the part that has been said to me multiple times, but that I still don't really get, is the idea that AJ has something to do with all this. That he
where's that being presented?
I can't tell you.
That AJ and Shield get along so well
that they are like this. That they are.
That's sour grapes, man.
And that he is an orchestrator, not just on the train. That he's in there working on stuff. That Stammen was. I was literally. Someone asserted to me this week that Craig Stammen was the shot across the bow. That 3 days later, the Seidler bros announced that they're going to sell the team. That there was a power play and plan to. Yeah, did I say it was conspiracy corner? I'm telling you, this is conspiracy corner.
I'm just imagining in a few months, flash to we're sitting in a dusty courtroom in Texas. Your Honor, I call Arnold James Preller to the stand. Mr. Preller, what do you have to say on this topic?
He opens up his shirt.
I think that we got a great compelling case here. I don't know. I could see both sides of it. No.
He opens up his shirt and slowly reveals his chest, and there's a tattoo that says Shield owns the Padres, and below it is Peter Seidler's signature. And then there's video of Pete inking him
body
in an OB tattoo parlor, signing in blood.
Just listening to Kendrick.
Roll the tape.
Fuck everybody is on my body. So look, I'm just sharing. I'm not on radio. I don't have a chance to get kicked off the air for a week for sharing this type of stuff. So I feel very free in sharing it. I think it's probably nonsense. Maybe. I don't know. But what's interesting to me, what's really, really interesting to me is just the mechanics of all this, because what the Seidler bros control is 20% of the Padres, but they have the grace of the remaining owners that they were that John Seidler was named control person. The Seidler Trust is out there with 24%, and that's what Scheel is aiming to take control of.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that she's the beneficiary of, right? Like at the end of the day, when like her and her kids are the beneficiaries of the trust. I just go back to, and we use the word who has the juice, but really like who has the bank account, who has the liquidity, who has the cash on hand that throwing down 9 figures on a baseball player doesn't change their lifestyle in any meaningful way. And Peter Seidler barely had that. You know, when he wanted to splurge on free agents, he had to do those cash calls. He had to get $150 million from the other team. He couldn't do it just by himself.
And MLB had to come in and go, debt to your debt to income ratio was way off, and you got to fix it.
And you got to slow down. You got to slow your rolls, because you're gonna go the way of the McCourts, which wound up having a team get sold in like one of the messiest soap opera events in recent baseball history. So, man, like I love the idea of our beloved Padres being a family business with people who just want to win and compete and give back in a seemingly benevolent way to the people of San Diego. Like I love the story Scheel is selling. It just feels a little PR orchestrated in this thing, and whatever's happening in probate court isn't really any of my business. I hope it turns out well for them, and if she wins and then she's the control person, I don't know what that changes. Like she still has to deal with her in-laws in the owners, like in the ownership suite. Like they still have their names on parts of the franchise.
I will just say this, Raphie, and again, I'm not talking about sources or anything, but in the wrangling discussion of all this crazy shit, the point that I was able to wrestle down was that Scheel's basic position is, give me your money, I'll do better with it. Take the money that's yours, give me, let me run it, I'll do it better. And that's it. It's not, I'm coming in with these investors, I'm coming in with this behind me, it's give me your money, I'll do it better.
Interesting. Well, we'll certainly see how it plays out for her. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Because we rewatched Dodgeball a couple of weeks ago, that's actually when it looks like the average Joes are going to forfeit to start the championship for not having enough players. That's when he says that. He goes, it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I thought it was when he goes blindfolded. I thought it was when they put
it was literally I thought it was too, Chris. That's how memes work. We assign it to something more meaningful in the plot. No, it was when like the pirate had left and the tall dude was at the bar drinking, and so they only had 4 players. And they were like, even with the team manager suited up, they only had 5, and they were going to have to forfeit. And he's just like, it's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Love it.
So, anyways, that's a little dodgeball lore. Okay, hey, we're not going to find out. Like so much of this, we may never know. Honestly, when it's all said and done, but the bottom line is, if the Seidlers are going to hang on to it and try and crank down the tempo, turn things down, turn down the spending, move things along, they're going to lose that season ticket base. They're going to lose their quote unquote waiting list. They're going to lose their 3.4 million. They don't have secondary, revenue streams to fall back on. I know they announced like 3 different new country music concerts over the last week because I got all the emails in my inbox, but it's not going to be enough. and the whole thing will fall. You got to keep it full throttle. You got to keep it fully open. And they pledge that they will. And the last thing that, we talked about AC's reporting, the last thing that Kevin reported this weekend was literally that. He said, as this continues, expect the Padres to conduct business as usual. Expect them to sign the players that they need to sign to fix the team over the course of the offseason, and expect AJ Preller to get the contract extension that everyone is expecting him to get. He wrote it again, and it was published yesterday, in print. He said it again, that this contract extension is coming for AJ Preller. That's part of the big conspiracy that's been told. Is, well, AJ's going for the most money in baseball, or he's going for this or that, or it's not just this, it's a power play. He's trying to get his, take his story back from Eric Grupner. And that when Stammen was hired, it was like, oh no. Oh, but I do want to say this. I saw the quote in that last AC article, because I think I'm sure Eric Grupner is as measured a public commenter as anyone you'll find. And he said that it was 100% AJ's idea to sign Craig Stammen. And I thought that was a really interesting comment from here it is. It's literally the last thing that AC put in like a 4,000 word story. Quote, "It's 100% an AJ decision," Grupner said. "John and I rode along and helped advise AJ and gave him our opinions on it. But ultimately, I believe you're president of baseball operations. It should be their decision to make."
Wow. It's a preliminary. Like, that's just looking ahead for a bus and not seeing one, and just being like, I need you to stay there. I need you to stay right there, buddy.
What I love about that comment, Rafe, is that on the level that Eric speaks publicly, which is every story written is bullshit, me and AJ have a great working relationship, you can completely take that comment and construe it as Eric magnanimously saying, I don't handle this stuff. That's AJ. And we ride along, but we trust AJ. But if you take it from the far more commonly accepted theory of Eric fucking hates AJ's guts and wishes he was gone yesterday, it is just a delicious little, that little tiny knife they put on the charcuterie board, not a real knife, but like little twist of, well, we think the president of baseball operations should decide to give a middle reliever with no coaching experience a major league managerial job.
Yeah, to me it reads as just very textbook business school cover your ass, because
London rules.
It's not like Eric Grupner's going to get credit if the Padres managerial hire is successful, so he might as well get out of the way of any of the fallout. You know what I mean? Like, and just say, okay, well, hey, this is his pick, and I think it's hard to imagine AJ Preller getting to pick another manager after Craig Stammen. So
I think it's an inevitability. I
do too. I kind of do too. I feel like now he has the chance to hire the next 7 managers. Like,
you think he's going to be Cashman for the Padres, and he'll just be running the ship for? He could. I mean, the thing is that Cashman can throw the rings on the table.
AJ, if he gets a ring, it's guaranteed.
Oh, if he gets the ring, he's going to be here forever. Like, it just takes one. You don't even need to have a dynasty. You just need to have one, and then he'll be unquestioned.
I think we'd all accept that, wouldn't we?
Oh, 100%.
We'd sign the contract now. 25 years of weird AJ in exchange for
one championship? Are you kidding? Yeah.
He's doing Bobby Beathard shit just all the time, just making trades out of the Encinitas Y at 4:30 in the morning. Like, I believe it. We'd all accept it. We know it. So, that leads us to on the menu unanswerable question, what can or can't we expect to happen this winter? Last year, the Padres did nothing. They did nothing. There's an argument to be made that doing nothing is the right move every single year until they clean up the free agent system. Let the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees spend for the top free agents and set the market. You can't play in that market. Let the Giants and the Phillies and the Astros and the Cubs, the secondary big spenders, fill in the gaps. Toronto's going to spend big this year. There's always already talk that they're going to get Edwin Diaz from the Mets. If Edwin Diaz goes from the Mets to the Blue Jays, then probably Robert Suarez goes from the Padres to the Mets. And we're already hearing that Devin Williams is going to go from the Yankees to the Dodgers, and he's going to be their closer next year, the Airbender. And then, he and Tanner Scott can trade off or whatever. And Sasaki's going back into the rotation. Like, all of these things are happening. There's going to be a cascade, but I suspect that the Padres are going to do exactly what the Padres did the last 2 years, which is sit, wait, let the market settle, pursue a trade if a trade comes along. But otherwise, I really think that San Diego is going to play the waiting game and just hold out and see how it sorts, and probably make moves in February and March. And we're going to have to come up with weird ass Padres podcast topics all the way between here and there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, as we were recording this, as Chris broke the news, Chris Passan, that Josh Naylor signed with the Mariners. I don't know if we know it was a 5-year deal. I don't know if we have a dollar amount on that, but, that's someone who, for instance, sets the table for a potential Ryan O'Hearn deal and sets the market for that. And so, we're going to have to stay tuned, but much like last year where the Padres waited out the market and had to see where the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes landed, and then ended up moving on Nick Pivetta and making arguably the greatest free agent signing of the offseason. I think we're going to see AJ Preller doing some more waiting this time around as well. There's really no reason at this point for him to be hasty, because at this point in the offseason, you're probably going to be overpaying to convince anyone to continue. So, and the last thing I'll also plug is there are, I think, more Japanese free agents that are coming over this year than there have
That's
been
true.
Past. And
Yeah.
it's going to be really interesting to see, specifically the Akamoto versus Murakami divide. Munetaka Murakami, of course, was the player who came up very clutch for Japan in the 2023 World Baseball Classic, and basically through the 2022 season in Japan was like a world-stopping young phenom, and since then has looked a little bit more pedestrian, and his strikeout numbers in particular in the NPB have been quite high.
Yeah.
And I think there's obviously some worry when he comes over to Major League Baseball that spells trouble. It'll be interesting to see where the market values him versus Akamoto, who isn't as famous, but is way better, on basically all of the raw metrics, and specifically in terms of hitting pitches at 93 miles an hour or above. His numbers below Murakami out of the water. Murakami is a first base DH type, and Akamoto is a first base / third baseman. And then you have Tatsuya Imai, who is a very, very good pitcher. Not on the level of Yamamoto by any stretch of the imagination, probably not even on the level of Sasaki, but solid. I think he's 27. And that's going to be another one where we're going to have to wait and see where the market rates him. And you have to imagine, unfortunately, that the Dodgers are going to have first dibs at any of them if they want them.
Sure.
So it's going to be interesting. They don't really have room on their roster for Murakami or Akamoto, because they have Muncy and they have Freeman. So, but you have to figure the Mets and the Yankees and the Mariners and the Cubs are all players for those guys as well.
Yeah, we got to wait, right, Chris? I mean, just especially what I saw with the Japanese market the last 2 years, that feels like it's the top of the market these days. That people are willing to spend and just believe in the metrics and the translation of stats, so to speak, over even selling on or buying on a 32-year-old in Major League Baseball.
Perhaps. I mean, Yoshinobu Yamamoto would certainly be like the case you can point to. He's the one who got the richest free agent pitcher deal in Major League history. But if you look at the other guys from recent history who came over and had some success, both of them might be on the free agent market this year. Shota Imanaga has already had the Cubs choose not to exercise their team option on him, and he has entered free agency. And Kodai Senga finished last year with New York Mets in AAA after completely
because he
flaming
was hurt.
out.
He was just hurt the whole year. He was on our my legacy league team. He's just injured the whole year.
That's the last 2 years for him, like coming off of a really good initial campaign. But that just goes to show, like, who knows what the medicals coming out of Japan are going to be. It's a big thing up in the air. And, aside from Murakami, who, fits kind of the Padres really kind of well, but they're probably not going to be able to afford him. I just don't know. It's gonna, the Padres are gonna get creative. It wouldn't stun me if we rule 5 an infielder to be our backup shortstop, considering that right now Mason McCoy is the guy slated to be that. So, the needs are few, but they're significant, and it's gonna, like, it wouldn't stun me if we don't see the Padres sign somebody until it's 2026.
Well, saying that, I think we don't need to dig through a bunch of free agent lists today then. Seeing as we all think we could do that next week or the week after or 9 weeks from now and probably have the exact same impact other than scratching 2 or 3 names off of the list that we were never going to get. So let's thus turn to our fun game to wrap up the show. This is called Who's Your Padre? It was suggested by one of our patrons, Rowdy Telez Slugs, who's had other names along the way. He was Gavin Sheets Slugs and Murakami Slugs along the way. But right now, that's where he stands. And Chris, please, sir, as we go to the stage for the final task of the show, please explain what we're going to be doing.
Hello, gentlemen. I have a game for you, just like Raphie did last season. I have selected one Major League Baseball player who has played for the San Diego Padres, and I would like you guys to deduce who it is. 20 questions is a pretty straightforward format. You're going to ask me a question. I'm going to say yes or no, and if I don't know, I'll be honest with you and try to shape you closer to finding out who this person is and otherwise. You can ask me questions about their statistics. I have limited biographical information, though it probably wouldn't help you too much, the stuff I do have. But, use your imaginations. And we'll go from there. We'll do who wants the first question? Let's go ahead and do I just wrote down a number between 1 and 10, boys. Raphie, what number do you think I wrote down?
6.
I wrote down 6. So Raphie goes first, and he will ask the first question, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So it's just yes or no questions, right?
You
question
can be
number
a little.
1.
You can. We have not. I have not shot the firing gun.
That's literally what they would do on Taskmaster. They'd be like, yes, and
yeah, you just opened the door, my friend. That was a door. That was a cabinet door. They can be somewhat subjective, and like I said, I'm going to try to shape you towards getting it right. But yes or no.
Yes or no questions
is the way to go.
I'll start broad. Did this player play on the Padres in the 21st century?
No.
Okay.
Is it a pitcher?
No.
Okay. Hang on. I need to take notes on this.
It's a 20th century hitter, Raphie. We're already down to a 20th century hitter after 2 questions.
I've already whittled down several hundred players. Well done.
Okay.
Thousands.
Was he primarily an outfielder?
Yes.
Mm.
And just to, I'll clarify this for a little bit. It looks like, of the positions he played, almost all outfield.
Okay, but Raphie, we don't have to ask this question. Chris just gave us the information that he didn't exclusively
Craig does
play
appear to
outfield.
be somewhat frozen
I
in
think that's
thought.
extremely
He very
important.
much looks like the thinker right
Yeah.
now. It just take off an item of clothing, and that's exactly who he is. That was Carlos Rodon, right? Who sculpted the thinker, I believe.
What the hell?
All right. Well, while we wait for Craig's return.
Finally, dude. And there's nobody home. This is so frustrating. What I
No, you're
said,
good.
what I said that you can edit out, because
I'm not going to edit it out.
No, you can keep that part and edit out this part, is that Chris volunteered to us that it's not exclusively an outfielder. We don't have to ask that question. He gave that to us on our own. So it's not Tony Gwynn. We already know it's not Tony Gwynn. It's not Steve Finley. Like, we can cut some players off the list. Okay. Did this player play in the 1990s?
Yes.
Question 4. Going up for number 5.
Through.
There's a kind of a trick in here in case they were a switch hitter, but I'm just going to ask: were they a right-handed hitter?
Were they a right-handed hitter? Yes.
Okay.
Right-handed hitter. Right-handed hitter. Outfielder. Played in the 90s. Did this player play center field primarily? No. Scratch Darren Jackson off the list.
Okay. 90s. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna recap. We have a 1990s, mostly corner outfielder, right-handed hitter, is our profile that we've nailed down so far.
Yes.
Sure have.
Okay.
Wow. So many options.
Did this player? I'm going to start asking you like kind of statistical questions.
Sure.
Did this player ever hit more than 30 home runs in a season?
Yes.
Okay.
You should have asked for the Padres.
Do you want to follow up? We have plenty of questions left.
Yeah, you have 13 questions remaining.
Did this player hit 30 or more home runs for the San Diego Padres?
No.
I knew it. I knew it.
Good catch. Good catch. Okay. Wow. Damn.
Wow.
I feel so good about this.
My mind's on
There's like
fire
two
right
questions.
now. I don't know about you, Raphie.
There are 2 questions you guys could ask that would like spotlight this person.
Okay.
It would give them the
I
super
think I might
trooper.
have one of them.
Okay.
Was this player ever an all-star?
That is a very good question. And
and I'm sorry. Before you answer, was this player ever an all-star for the Padres?
no.
Okay.
And he had to struggle to find out if he was an all-star at all, Raphie, which means you can scratch Ricky Henderson off the list. You can scratch Greg. Well, Greg Vaughn hit more than 30 homers for the Padres, but like there's certain eliminators now. It's kind of like playing Wordle. It's like it's the things that you can't do. Wait, no, hang on. That's got an E in the 5th spot. Okay, back to me. So it is not an all-star for the Padres. Didn't hit 30 homers for the Padres. Did hit 30 homers. Somewhere else. Is right-handed. Played in the 90s. Damn it. Was this player an original Padre? Was he drafted and developed
No.
by the Padres? No. Trade or free agent acquisition. Something we could still narrow, Nate.
We are
We're
halfway through.
We're
You have
halfway
used
through.
10 of your 20 questions, gentlemen.
Gosh darn it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna ask this question in a version in which I feel the most comfortable asking it.
Okay.
Was this player white?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, damn it. That is such a good question. Okay. Damn it. Here we go.
I thought I might have had it, and now
I thought I had it too, and the person I had picked is not white.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too. Wow.
Because it actually really narrows it down.
Yeah, I was going to give you guys a hint until that one, but that one takes away a lot of people.
Really
so
good.
I'll save my hint for 15.
Dang it. Holy cow. Okay, hang on. Let me think through. White, power hitting, 90s, corner, outfield, but not exclusively corner outfield. That's got to be a huge part of it. Shit. Did this player play for the San Diego Padres between 1996 and 1999?
Yes.
Limiter. Proud of that one.
Okay.
Raphie's running it through his Gemini brain.
No.
This is also like just before my Padres fandom began. So I'm really like, okay, hang on. Thinking about this.
96,
You have 8 more questions, so feel free to just fire a question out there.
1998.
Who would have hit 30 home runs for another team that's like, I'm not, like, was it Jim Leyritz?
Nope.
No, he's not an outfielder. He's a catcher.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. There you go. Shows my...
Question 13. Okay.
I think you guys should ask questions about statistics.
Did this player... Oh, thanks, stat guy. We already know that he hit 30 home runs somewhere, so that's really important.
Mm-hmm. It is.
He's right-handed and white.
Right-handed white is so funny.
It's killing me.
It's a good band
I'm like
name.
genuinely like, because I was like, this is Greg Vaughn.
No, I was thinking Reggie Sanders.
Sure.
No, because Greg Vaughn hit 50 homers for us in 1998. So it couldn't be. I was thinking Reggie Sanders, who I don't think hit 30 for us, but has hit 30 somewhere in his career. But it can't be. It cannot be. I'm just going to play the cut game again. Did this player play for the San Diego Padres in either 1996 or 97?
Yes.
Okay.
No going to reference and looking at
no
the
going
rosters.
to reference. I know. You don't know how much I want to, but
I'm legitimately out of whites. I don't know. I don't know any other white outfielders that's not Steve Finley who would have been on the team. It's literally that meme, the exciting whites meme of the wine aisle. Like it's like I'm out of exciting whites. It's not Steve Finley. So
No, because he's a center fielder. He's left-handed.
Right. He's left-handed.
Like none of those work. Okay, let's just think through this for a little bit. In 1996 and 1997, the right fielder was Tony Gwynn. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All the time. The left fielder in 1996 and 1997 was always either Greg Vaughn or Ricky Henderson.
So it's like a fourth outfielder.
Yes. It's a fourth outfielder.
Who also hit 30 home runs for another team.
Yes.
I'm not going to know it. Like
The 30 home runs is killing me.
We are at 14.
Yeah.
Ask one more question and you will get a hint.
Okay. Wait, it's my turn? No, it's Raphie's turn.
Yes, Raphie,
it's your turn.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
I don't even know what to ask without asking to see. Is it too? Can I ask for the initials of the player?
No, it's a yes or no question. I mean, you could ask,
like
are the initials this and that?
Yeah.
I feel like making that your question.
No. I'll do something. Did this player hit more than 10 home runs in his season with the Padres?
No.
Okay. So he hit 30 home runs for someone else, but he did not hit more than 10 home runs.
He did not.
What? Who is? I don't know who this is.
This has got to be some fucking veteran.
It's someone super random.
Like Arquis and Fracco never hit that many homers.
I will give you your hint. This player did not achieve more than 20 WAR in their career.
Did not achieve more than 20 WAR.
Did not.
Yeah, so it's a bench guy. It's a bench guy who
30 homers somewhere.
Craig, this is going to be you.
It's Craig.
I don't have the knowledge of mid 90s depth outfielders.
You guys got 5 questions left, and if you think Craig's going to be the guess, you basically have 2 guesses and 2 more questions.
Right? It's you're killing me. You're absolutely killing me.
If you basically just asked about statistical categories, I feel like you would get there.
Statistical categories?
I've already said too much.
You've said too much.
I'm sorry, but I do have to leave in a second.
Okay.
So
wow. It's my turn, right?
Yeah, it's your turn. I'm tapping out, by the way. I don't know who it is. I can tell you.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
Right.
And in fact, I'm going to look it up, and I'm not going to say anything because I just need to know.
Okay. See, I just had an idea and now I just lost it.
I was never going to get this in a million years. So
was this
I was never.
Was this player? Did this player ever play for the Philadelphia Phillies?
Nope.
Fuck. Fuck.
Oh, Craig, you're gonna
I've
be
never heard
so
of this man in my life.
In your life?
That's a shame. Craig, you're gonna be mad at yourself. This guy is
Wait. Okay, hang on. Hit over 30 home runs.
There are listeners at
Played
home
for the
yelling,
Padres,
screaming,
but fewer
of a
than
certain
20
age.
WAR. But 96 and 97 is what's throwing me off on this.
Mm-hmm.
Did this player ever play for the Detroit Tigers?
Yes. So many times.
Say it, Craig. I hope he didn't just freeze.
I think he just broke everything in his frustration. Who knows what this recording is gonna be?
Meanwhile, the people at home are going to hear Craig shouting because
Yeah.
they can hear him and we can't.
Yeah.
Oh no, he left.
Oh no, we lost Craig entirely. Oh my goodness, what my 20 questions candidate has completely broken Craig. Raphie, if you want to boogie out, I can hold off until Craig. Well, no, you can't because you gotta be the button pusher.
I need Craig to come back.
Yeah, we need Craig to come back. So Raphie, this guy, you've already seen who it is.
Yeah.
This guy was an absolutely behemoth in early 90s video games. Like,
oh my God, Craig just texted us and said he destroyed his computer.
He destroyed his computer.
So
rebooting.
I'm gonna end the show because I actually have to go because I have to make this screening. But do you want to say who it was?
Okay, so Craig is now screaming in his house. There is a house in La Mesa filled with volume and frustration because my Padre is Rob Deere, who only got 64 plate appearances for the 1996 San Diego Padres, but had an 11-year major league career that saw him achieve a measure of what that nobody else will ever get. Like, he is a true 3 outcome guy and has the major league record for most strikeouts per at bat, and no one's even close. No one will ever get close. He struck out once every 2.75 at bats. Pete Incaviglia was second at once every 3.31. But in a video game where you were kind of in charge of when you swung, Rob Deere was an absolute beast. He played in the AL most of his career because he was a DH and a little bit of a liability defensively. He went to Japan for 2 seasons where he did not do well before finishing his career with the Padres, where he put up half a WAR, hitting 4 home runs in those only 50 at bats, a home run every 12.5 plate appearances, putting up an OPS of 839, helping the Padres win the West in 1996.
Well, I think we all learned a lot.
Craig
Craig's
has
back.
jumped back in. Hopefully, we can get his
I don't know how I
last
broke
few,
my computer. I don't know how I did that. I hope I didn't ruin it all.
Come out.
Do you want to? Did you already hear who it was, or do you want to say it?
I'm sure I already know who it was. I determined it. It's Rob Deere.
Okay, who is it? It's Rob Deere.
Rob Deere.
Rob Deere.
He heard it? Do you hear Craig?
It.
I don't hear Craig. All right, great. Awesome.
All right. We're gonna.
You guys finish
Craig,
the show.
But,
it's all done. It's all
right.
Done. Sorry.
Well, this has been a very bumpy episode of Padres Hot Tub. Thank you very much for listening. For more information about becoming a patron, go to patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Raphie, anything else?
No, go Padres.
Go Padres.